This week, I am actually going to talk about my worst movie experiences. Now, keep in mind, these were all seen in the movie theaters. I like to think of the movie theater as a church I come to worship at, but some people just think of it as a hangout place. Number 10 will be Halloween H2O. I knew what I was in for. Unfortunately, I went to see a film where a woman and her boyfriend sat next to me, and apparently she had never seen a horror film before. Anytime a scary scene would come up, and keep in mind, this is Halloween H2O, it seemed like she had to have a before scream, a scream, and then an after scream. Let's say Michael Myers is coming, Michael Myers is coming for somebody. She would be like, oh my God! Then she'd be like, ah, ah, ah. Going to see a horror film was kind of like sex for her, with a lot of orgasms. Number 9 is American Beauty, which I liked. The film builds to a tense ending, and I was really feeling the film's tense ending until right before the final scene, somebody's cell phone rings. So it like rang 5 times, and it was a loud thing. And then that's when the person decided to pick up the phone. And then another audience member decides, hang up that fucking phone. So remember, people, how you act at a movie can ruin a movie experience for some people.
And turn off those damn cell phones.
So cut off those damn cell phones. And yes, texting does count as being on a cell phone, because the light does bother some of us. Number 8 film of worst movie experiences, About Schmidt. Now, I'm not going to say I love the film. It's okay. At the end of About Schmidt, Jack Nicholson has been writing to an African orphan that he is funding, and he needs, I guess, a pat on the back. The orphan finally writes him a letter, and it's a drawing of him and the orphan, and he just breaks down and starts crying, and it's such a touching moment. And it's ruined because some lady can't stop laughing uncontrollably in the theater. I mean, not just like, ha ha ha. I mean, it was like she was at a Chris Rock show, and this was the funniest thing she had ever heard in her life. It just ruined the whole ending for me. I mean, wasn't the greatest film again, but it ruined, my excitement for the film. Number 7 is Lost Highway. Now, this was the first time I'd ever seen a David Lynch movie in theaters, and it was basically, if you haven't seen it, it's a David Lynch movie. There was one seat next to me, and of course, a lady comes in 10 minutes late, and she sits right next to me, and she has this big tub of popcorn. And anytime anything shocking happens, she would just react like, oh my goodness, oh my God, oh, I don't believe they're doing that. Now, it would be fine maybe if her mouth was closed, and I loved the film. It was a little ruined by her. Spare us the commentary when you go to movies. I have no problem with you being shocked. But I don't need, oh my God! You don't need to let the audience know your feelings for the film. My number 6 movie is Scary Movie 2, and trust me, I am not laughing at any thoughts of that movie. But any joy I could have taken from seeing Scary Movie 2 was ruined because I went with a group of friends. They sat to the side of me, leaving one seat next to me open. A woman sat next to me, and anytime any scene that would be, to me, amusing, funny to most, I would start laughing, but then she'd take it overboard and go, ah, ha, 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 ah, ha, ha. Our seats are linked. That's the way it is at some AMC theaters, and we're sitting in the front row. She's moving back and forth and taking me with her, so it ended up becoming like a roller coaster. Just remember, people, genuine reactions, not overreactions. I'm not telling you how to act. If you're going to overreact, maybe you should watch it with friends at home when it comes out. Number 5 is Pirates of the Caribbean Part 2. I don't remember the whole title. My problem with the film was, I guess since it's more family-friendly than adult-oriented, and I can take it when a kid maybe talks here and there, the little girl behind me and her mother talked through the whole film because I can say I know everything that happened in the film because the mother narrated the film to the child because the child kept asking, what's happening now? What's happening now? Now, I know children are naturally curious, but the kid wasn't blind. So number 4 is The Long Kiss Goodnight. I went to see it at the Virgin Megastore, which used to have a movie theater at the bottom. All was fine throughout the film until the middle of the film where I guess there was somebody who was sitting next to my group who I guess maybe was crossing or uncrossing their legs and I guess was kicking the seat ahead of him. And finally, the guy got tired of it. It was like, hey, man, stop kicking my seat. Hey, I ain't kicking your motherfucking seat. I was wondering if I should hightail it and run. Those 10 minutes of the movie, I don't even remember what happened. I just remember I was like, oh, God, please don't let me get shot, stabbed, or killed. Next, at number 3 is Alien vs. Predator 2. Now, I want this to be noted. I did not pay to go see this movie before anybody says, Jeff, how could you? So we're watching this film, and I already know it's probably going to be bad. But this group of people watching the film would just talk and make bad jokes very loudly all the time. And my friend is a little more outspoken than I am, so he generously offered the shh at first, and then the could you be quiet? People are trying to watch the movie, to the general shut the fuck up. So this, needless to say, this angered the people in the back row. They generally did shut the fuck up for most of the movie. Until the end, when all of them rolled up on me and my friend Adam. And I was shocked to find out that it was a group of women. This group of women were like, oh, well, why'd you pay to see the film? Well, obviously to watch it, not to listen to you. And then their defense was, oh, it's my mother's birthday. And we both reacted like, so this is what you take her to go see? And not to mention, if your mother wanted to see it, why did you need to talk? You know, I generally don't see why you would pay good money to talk while watching something. I almost got into a fight with a group of women, physical fight. And if that's number 3, you can imagine how bad the next 2 will be. My number 2 movie of worst movie experiences, Dead Presidents. Dead Presidents I had to see twice. Because the first time I went, all was fine for the first 20 minutes until all of a sudden, during the scene where Keith David and Lorenz Tate are going out, I guess to go get Keith David's money from whoever, the exit doors bust open and like a gang of teenagers just start running into the theater and start punching everybody who's in an end seat in the face. And I am like, what the hell is going on? And the funny thing is, after they do this, they all find seats and settle into the movie. And nobody leaves the theater to say anything or, you know, start fighting back against these people. So I was just like, this is really weird. I pretended to go to the bathroom, and I never came back.
But, Jeff, what could be worse than that? I'll do that, I'll do it.
Okay.
But, Jeff, what could be worse than that?
I will tell you what is worse than that. My number 1 movie, Precious. I'll admit, I should have known better. I went to go see it on opening weekend. To me, it's still a good film. I have my problems with it. And this didn't deter my thoughts of it. First of all, I was shocked at how many people brought their kids to a movie that is very hard R-rated. 3 women who come in, one has a baby, and not only do they proceed to talk through the film, but then the baby would keep getting upset, and instead of taking the child out of the theater, they would just, I guess, pamper the child. Now, this isn't Mommy Wednesdays. This is, you know, a Saturday afternoon showing of the film. It just kept going on and on during the film. And then, thank God, halfway through the film, they got up and left the theater. If that wasn't bad enough, after they left, then there were 2 teenage girls in front of me, and they're texting during the movie. I'm just like, I cannot believe this. And as our favorite fan, the Cheese Doodle Man, has said, I don't want to, I've spent money on my tickets, I've spent money on refreshments, and now I've paid all this money, and now I gotta listen to you with your commentary. Now, if you're going to see a movie and you can't turn your cell phone off because you're that busy, at least put it on vibrate. Or just don't go see a movie. Think of something else to go do to spend time. I know places are drying up, but there's always Starbucks. I am going to end this week's show, but I am going to, as always, ask you, have you seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? If not, why not? Because it is awesome. This finishes this week's business. Until next week, we have plenty of unfinished business. And I am Jeff Gallashaw, and I hope to see you next time.